Hey, I'm William, co-founder of Evolved Elements. Before we get into today's episode, I want to tell you why this podcast exists. My aunt was the most disciplined woman I knew. When she was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, she didn't just accept it. She fought back. Eventually, she discovered thyroid glandular supplements. The research made sense. So she tried one. It was a disaster. Within days, she was sicker than before, nausea, stomach cramps. She felt toxic. The very thing that was supposed to help her was poisoning her day. And that's when I got involved. I started researching why this kept happening. Not just to her, but to thousands of people trying organ supplements. What I found changed everything. It wasn't that organ nutrition doesn't work. It's that most supplements are processed in ways that make them impossible for sensitive systems to tolerate. So my brother and I set out to source something different. We found grass-fed thyroid from New Zealand, some of the cleanest pastures on Earth. And we had it processed, raw and cold, preserving the nutrients while making it gentle enough for even the most sensitive digestion. My aunt was the first person we helped when she finally got a handle on the symptoms that had been controlling her life, when she actually felt like herself again. We knew we couldn't keep this to ourselves. That's why Evolved Elements exists. And honestly, she's still in my mind every time we help someone. Every person who reaches out, every review that says, "I finally feel normal again," I think of her. Because I know what it's like to watch someone you love struggle with something invisible. I'll be handing things over to Kate, who will be your guide through this series. But know that everything you hear comes from a real place, a real story, real research, and a real mission to help people stop feeling crazy for feeling exhausted.
Your labs came back normal, your doctor looked at the results, looked at you, and said you should feel fine. But you don't feel fine. You're exhausted by 2 p.m. You can't remember what you walked into the room for. You've been staring at the same email for 15 minutes because your brain just won't work. You spent your entire weekend on the couch, not relaxing, recovering. Recovering from a week that everyone else seemed to survive just fine. And somewhere in the back of your mind, a quiet voice is asking, is this just who I am now? Is this what getting older feels like? Am I just not trying hard enough? Here's what I need you to hear right at the start. You're not crazy, you're not lazy, and you are definitely not alone. Today, we're finally talking about the gap between what your labs say and how you actually feel. Welcome to Beyond Normal Labs. Let's start with a number that might change everything for you. According to the American Thyroid Association, somewhere between 12 and 40% of people on thyroid medication still report persistent symptoms, even when their TSH is in the normal range. I want you to sit with that for a second. Up to 40%. That's not a small group of complainers. That's not a statistical anomaly. That's potentially 4 out of every 10 people taking thyroid medication who are doing everything right and still feeling wrong. If you've ever sat in your doctor's office, heard that your labs look normal, and felt a sinking mix of relief and despair. Relief that nothing is wrong, despair because then why do you feel so terrible? You are not imagining things. This is real. It's documented. It's researched. And it's far more common than anyone talks about. There's even a name researchers use for this: persistent hypothyroid symptoms despite biochemical euthyroidism, which is a very clinical way of saying your labs look fine, but you feel awful. And that's a recognized medical phenomenon. The Cleveland Clinic has studied it. Harvard Health has written about it. The Endocrine Society has acknowledged it. You are not making this up. So why does this happen? Why can your numbers look perfect on paper while your life feels like you're wading through fog? Here's something most doctors don't have time to explain. The TSH test, which is the standard test for thyroid function, measures how much thyroid-stimulating hormone is in your bloodstream. When that number is in range, the assumption is that your thyroid is working properly. But here's what TSH doesn't tell you. It doesn't tell you how much of that hormone is actually getting into your cells. It doesn't tell you whether your body is converting the inactive form of thyroid hormone into the active form your cells can actually use. It doesn't tell you whether your cells have what they need to do anything with that hormone once it arrives. Think of it this way. TSH is like measuring how much mail is being delivered to your neighborhood. It tells you the postal service is working, but it doesn't tell you whether anyone is actually opening the mail, whether the letters are being read, whether anything is being done with the information inside. Your body could be receiving plenty of thyroid hormone. Your TSH could look beautiful. But if your cells can't convert it, can't absorb it, can't use it, you're going to feel every bit as exhausted as if you weren't getting any at all. The blood test sees numbers. You feel reality. And both can be true at the same time. Now, I want to talk about something that might be harder to hear. Not because it's bad news, but because you've probably been telling yourself the opposite for a long time. Your exhaustion is not laziness. It's not a character flaw. It's not because you're high maintenance or not pushing through hard enough. It's not because you're getting older and this is just what that feels like. There is a biological explanation for why you feel this way. Research published in Quality of Life Studies shows that patients with hypothyroidism, even those considered adequately treated by lab standards, score significantly lower on energy and vitality metrics than the general population. This isn't self-reported whining. This is measured, documented, published in peer-reviewed journals. Your body is trying to tell you something real. The afternoon crashes, the brain fog, the heaviness in your limbs that makes everything feel like effort. These are signals, biological signals, not moral failings. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're not imagining it. Your body is telling you something. And it's time we actually listened. I want to get specific for a moment, because I think it helps to name these things out loud. The afternoon crash. That wall you hit somewhere around 2 or 3 p.m, where your body feels like it's moving through wet concrete, where you'd give anything just to close your eyes for 20 minutes, where you start calculating how many hours until you can reasonably go to bed. The brain fog. Standing in a room and forgetting why you walked in, searching for a word you've used 1,000 times, reading the same paragraph over and over because nothing is sticking. The cancelled plans. Saying yes to things and then dreading them as they approach. Backing out of dinners, kids' events, time with friends. Not because you don't want to go, but because you simply don't have it in you. The weekends spent recovering. While everyone else seems to be living their lives, you're horizontal on the couch, trying to gather enough energy to face another Monday. And maybe the hardest one, looking fine on the outside while feeling broken on the inside. Smiling through meetings, powering through school pickup, pretending everything is okay because no one can see what you're actually experiencing. Every cancelled dinner, every time you said, "I'm just tired," when what you meant was, "I'm disappearing." Every moment you felt like a shadow of the person you used to be. Those aren't small things, and you're not being dramatic for wanting them to change. So where does this leave you? First, I hope it leaves you feeling a little less alone. Because you're not. Millions of people are in exactly the same position, doing everything right and still feeling wrong. Second, I hope it leaves you feeling a little less crazy, because you're not that either. Your symptoms have a biological basis that goes beyond what a single lab test can capture. And third, and this is the important part, I hope it leaves you feeling curious. Because if up to 40% of people on thyroid medications still don't feel well, that means the medication, as important as it is, might not be the complete picture. Not wrong, not unnecessary, but incomplete. Your medication is doing what it's designed to do. It's getting thyroid hormone into your bloodstream. But there may be a missing piece that explains why that hormone isn't translating into the energy, clarity, and vitality you're supposed to feel. That missing piece is what this podcast is about. Over the next 7 episodes, we're going to explore exactly what's happening at the cellular level, why your past attempts to feel better might not have worked, and what a complete approach to thyroid wellness actually looks like. Not to replace your medication, not to contradict your doctor, but to fill in the gaps that nobody has explained to you. Before I go, I want to leave you with this. You've been told your labs are normal. You've been told you should feel fine. And some part of you has probably started to believe that the problem is you. It's not. Normal labs don't guarantee a normal life. And feeling exhausted despite doing everything right isn't a personal failure. It's a signal that something in the equation is missing. You're not crazy. You're not lazy. You're not making this up. And over the course of this season, we're going to figure out together what that missing piece actually is. In episode 2, we're going to talk about everything you've probably already tried. The dose adjustments, the medication switches, the diets, the supplements, the protocols. And we're going to explore why those solutions didn't work and why that's not your fault either. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love it if you'd subscribe so you don't miss what's coming. And if you know another woman who's struggling silently with her thyroid, who's been told she should feel fine but doesn't, maybe send this her way. Sometimes the most powerful thing we can offer someone is the feeling that they're not alone. Thanks for being here. I'll talk to you in episode 2.